So I'm going to be showing you some of the effects that are available in Tubeist. The effects can be unlocked by an in-app purchase. So if I go to camera here, the first thing I need to do is to switch from the camera view to the output view. That's the only way that we can see effects being added. And there's a slight delay when we switch to this if we have stabilization on. When I move this camera now, it's a very slight delay between what's actually the movement and what is happening on screen. So going back here, I can select a style. So we have first a warmth style that you can use to warm up an image, or if you move down, you can cool down an image as well. So using the slider here to the right, you can switch between warm and cool and neutral. That's one filter. There's a saturation filter as well. So if I move this to the top, you get a grayscale image. And if I move it down to the middle, we have normal saturation, and if I move it further down, I can increase the saturation of the colors to quite an extreme level, as you can see here. So let's move to the next filter. That's a film filter. So what this does, at the bottom value, it uses an S-curve to squeeze the contrast in the image, the luminance values, whereas if I move it further up in this direction, it will do a black lift and a white tone down, also working with the luminance levels. It also has a slight variation of coloration, so there's a bit of gradation also going on here. So that's the film one. Let's move back. If you remember the grayscale, we have a black bright here. I'm going to move it up to the top. So this is more like we are used to seeing black and white if you see a movie. Let's move to the next one. Space, this is just for fun. It inverts the colors either towards the blue shift, or if you move it down, everything will be red shifted. So people, the skin tone of people will be blue here, and the skin tone here will be red. And we have a final one, which is a rotoscope style. Rotoscoping is when usually you have an artist that is drawing on top of the video frames to make them look kind of animated. So this is the rotoscope. And as you can see, we get sort of a, oh, you can see me over there as well. You get an image that is looking sort of rotoscoped anyway, and you can increase the strength of the edge detection using the slider to the right. So let's move back here. We also have some effects you can add. So if I go here, we keep the rotoscope. There's a sky effect. So if you have too bright of a sky, you can move the second slider here and you can adjust, or you can actually brighten up the sky as well if it's too dark. Usually it's too bright, so you can darken it a little bit like that. There's a vignette as well. So in this case, you get a darkening from all the edges. Also sort of a filmic effect if you want to add it. We have film grain, and I'm going to switch here back to the black bright. And I'm going to move that to the top. And I don't know if it's noticeable in the recording, but now we have film grain. So this is starting to look quite a lot like a old black and white recording would. And also this is of course good for the film one, and you can reduce the amount of grain with the slider here down to almost no grain up to quite a lot of grain up here. And finally there's the pixelate. in case you are out walking about and something happens that you don't want to show on the stream. You can do the pixelate and quickly make stuff more anonymous. And the slider here controls the size of the pixels in the pixelate. So that's about it. Those are the different styles available using the app. And of course, all of these are available also as through the camera button if you have an iPhone 16 or newer. So you can work with the styles over here as well. Okay, that's about it. Thanks.